We are live.
We're live.
Okay.
All right.
All right. So we are here now to talk about this week's new Marvel comics. Yesterday, Wednesday, new comic book day.
Yes.
It's an amazing day. Each and every week. It's like having a holiday every single week.
It's Christmas every week.
It really is. It really is. So this week, a lot of great comics, but Marvel had some really, really, really good ones and a whole lot of options. I mean, there was a new Doctor Strange,
Yep.
New Deadpool, new Black Panther, I believe a new Squirrel Girl, new
Yeah.
Miles Morales. There's a lot of new, really good Marvel comics out there.
And you Thanos. Sorry.
Yeah. We'll get to that, man. Don't you worry. Yeah, and so John and I read a bunch of them, and today we want to promote some of our favorites to you. And first up, before we get into the single issues,
Yeah, do that.
there was a brand new trade paperback. Congratulations to our friend Matthew Rosenberg for his Kingpin limited series, Civil War II tie-in. So if you really like Vincent D'Onofrio's portrayal in the Marvel Netflix show, if that's what got you into the character, if you've always liked him, if you're a Daredevil fan, check it out. It's cool to have Kingpin front and center in his own limited series. And in addition to the collected story in here, there's also Amazing Spider-Man 51, which is the second appearance of Kingpin, and he has a conflict with Spider-Man. Kingpin made his first appearance in Amazing Spider-Man 50,
Right.
and then if you go to 51,
Boom.
so that's reprinted in there. And just to try to, let's say you're still on the fence, Hawkeye's in here. He has a very hilarious scene, but there is also a brawl between Punisher and Kingpin. So I am trying to get a preview of that. Yeah, man.
Actually, you can just go to that. Go back to
Just
that
the
page.
cover?
Just go to the cover, yeah.
Just the cover? All right.
Look at this.
All right. We won't spoil any of the actual fight between Punisher and Kingpin. They obviously don't want to spoil anything about the Daredevil show. Both great characters in the Daredevil show on Netflix.
We'll leave it at that.
Let's just say that. I know they fought at least once before in the comics.
Yes.
But here's another fight between them. So once again, congrats to Matthew Rosenberg. And if you do like this and his work, or let's say you really like Guardians of the Galaxy, you're really excited about the second movie, there's a new Rocket Raccoon series on the way in December. And Matthew Rosenberg, he's writing it, and he's going to be at Midtown Comics downtown, which is on 64 Fulton Street, for a signing for that issue. And plus, you can bring up to 2 other comics to have signed by him. And that will be on December 29th, which is it's either Thursday or Friday. I don't recall off the top of my head.
It's one of those.
It's one of those.
It's one of those.
But he's going to be there. Yeah, he'll be there from 7 to 8 p.m. Once again, December 29th, Rocket Raccoon #1 signing with Matthew Rosenberg. Check it out. It's at downtown 64 Fulton Street. So, I've done plenty of babbling. John, what comic did you really enjoy this week from Marvel?
Boy, so I checked out 2. I checked out Thanos #1, written by Jeff Lemire and arted by
Mike Deodato.
Thank you, because I can't pronounce his last name.
Okay.
So I'm so sorry.
It's been a while since we've had coffee, so
Very long while. And then I also checked out Amazing Spider-Man #21, which happens to be a Clone Conspiracy tie-in. So this was good, but I have to say today everything goes to the man, the big man right here. The only reason why I say that, it's truly evident right there. And that's all I have to say. If you want to pick up this book, this says everything. Truly. Basically, the whole premise behind the book is that, Thanos has been preoccupied with things that all the humans are doing, some civil wars, some other wars, and he's not paying attention to his house. So somebody else is basically running it. One of the guys used to answer for Thanos. And so Thanos comes back and just kind of says, why are you in my chair? And I'll just leave it at that. You have to pick up this issue to really check out what is happening. He comes back to claim his throne, and then there are other things about, which I'm not going to spoil. So you guys pick this up, you can check out exactly what's happening, whether he gets his throne back or not, and what else is building up in this series. So this was a very awesome pick. Greg, what do you got?
let's show them just like one page of the
One
interiors.
page?
Aside from the opening credits, let's
I'll let you choose the page.
All right, I don't want to spoil anything, but I remember there was I haven't read this one yet, but
That's a good one.
yeah, that's definitely a good one. So there's just a small sample Thanos, #1.
I would be really interested if they do Infinity Wars 2 and open with this opening. That would be really cool
That'd
to
be
see.
cool. And so I know there's been a lot of mixed opinions about clone conspiracy because clone, it's kind of a bad word to a lot of longtime Spider-Man fans. A lot of people have a bad impression about the Clone Saga,
Mm-hmm.
and they don't want more clones.
Right.
But Clone Conspiracy, I've not read that issue yet. However, what I have read so far, I've enjoyed, and I know that one features Scarlet Spider, who I love. If you haven't read it, Scarlet Spider's ongoing series by Ryan Stegman and Christopher Yost. Check it out. It was only like 20-something issues, but it was awesome. So why should people give Clone Conspiracy a shot if they hate the word clone?
Well, if you hate the word clone, you still gotta love Spider-Man. Those are two perfect words that fit into anybody who reads comics, right? I actually picked this up. I started reading Clone Conspiracy with it was Amazing Spider-Man number 19 is where it actually started, and then
That
we
is
got
the
it
Kingpin
as,
backup, right? With
right.
Rhino and
and then from there we got into Clone Conspiracy, the actual book, the first
Mhm.
one. This is a tie-in talking about again Scarlet Spider, which he obviously is on the cover.
Alex
And-
Ross cover too.
Yeah, that in itself,
Yeah.
pick it up just for that. But the story is actually Kane Parker, the Scarlet Spider. So it talks about him and how he kind of fits into this whole clone conspiracy universe again. And it's not. It's a very good complement to the main story. It's not something that you need that it fits in and there's a missing part to this to go on to that. Whether I could be wrong, but it stands alone as its own story. It's really good for it, and it kind of gives you an in-depth look into Scarlet Spider, see what he's been up to, what's happened to him, and what is happening to him here. In terms of why you should read the Clone Conspiracy in general, it's really going to throw Peter Parker for a loop, and it already has. So Dan Slott is doing, as usual, an amazing job with it, and I'm really intrigued to see where it's going to go and how it's going to take it, especially with Jackal coming back and doing all this. So it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, and Dan, we spoke with him at a previous signing. He's well aware of the negative impression that some fans have about the Clone Saga, and he's obviously doing his best to make sure it doesn't feel like Clone Saga Part 2. It's its own different
thing.
story.
It's completely different.
Yeah, it may have the Jackal, but these aren't technically even clones, right?
Gotta read it to check it
Yeah,
out and
we'll
find
see.
out. I'm not saying too much more.
All right, so for the Cosmic and Spidey fans, those are both excellent choices.
Yes.
Thanos #1 by Jeff Lemire,
Jeff Lemire.
Mike Deodato Jr.,
Yep.
and Amazing Spider-Man tie-in by Dan Slott. I think Christos Gage, and I don't know who the artist is because I haven't read it yet.
Don't remember his name. I am so sorry, but I don't remember.
That's
his
okay.
name.
That's all right. So my top Marvel pick, I set aside 3 Marvel comics that I really enjoyed this week, and 2 of them are actually my favorite Marvel series. So it's a great week for me.
Of course.
Yeah. So my top Marvel comic right now is Old Man Logan.
He's not biased at all.
Not at all. So this is written by also Jeff Lemire. This video brought to you by Jeff Lemire, apparently.
Yeah.
So it's written by Jeff Lemire. Features
Jeff, send
artwork.
the checks over to Midtown. It'll be good.
Features artwork by Andrea Sorrentino and the colorist Marcelo Maelo. I think they're just a great creative team. We're here to talk about Marvel. They did have a run on another character from another publisher that I really enjoyed, and they're continuing to do phenomenal work over here. Now, this is actually the last chapter of the most recent story, so it's the conclusion of a story arc. But despite that, it could still serve as a jumping-off point because, as you can see here, there is an adequate intro page. Obviously, I recommend reading the whole story for yourself. It's better to experience this. But in the event that, let's say, you're working with a limited budget or you just want to casually give a comic a shot, you can hop on at any time. So let me go ahead and just give you an example.
Are you going to go to that page?
There's so many pages.
He's going to go to that page.
Well,
That page.
Okay, this page. So every single issue that Andrea Sorrentino and Marcelo Maelo have done, they always have at least one page that just totally blows me away. Literally jaw-dropping. It just leaves you awestruck. And in this case, it is
That
this.
one.
I'm not sure how well that's framed,
That's actually framed very well.
but yeah, I read comics during my commute in and out of the city on the wonderful New Jersey Transit bus.
That's not go there.
Yeah, and I spent like a good at least 2 minutes just examining these 2 pages and looking at all the panels that are in here. It's a great series. It's obviously character driven because you have this guy from a terrible, terrible future who's now in the past, and he wants to do everything he can to prevent that future from happening. But is that future going to happen? I mean, Marvel, all of these crazy things have happened with Secret Wars. So is that future going to happen anyway?
You know,
Probably not. But Wolverine's still worried about that, and there are people who may be able to see the future or know what happens in the future, and they may not be fans of him. I mean, here's another sample of the artwork. It's just a consistently great series. It's action-packed, it's well-written, and it's beautiful and creatively presented. So, Old Man Logan, I cannot recommend it enough.
and the
Read it.
storyline is
The
the last
Ronin,
Ronin, right? Yeah.
And this is the final part. Part
Yep,
5
part
called
five.
The Wolverine. So, if you're even remotely interested in Logan, read it. And also read the original Old Man Logan, which is by Mark Millar and
Mark,
Steve
right.
McNiven. That's one of my favorite Wolverine stories.
And we have that in paperback, right?
Yeah, we have collections in store. I'm not sure about online; it may be sold out, but
Maybe.
it's
But
worth
we have it
checking.
in stores, so call ahead beforehand.
Yeah, and obviously the movie, it's going to just be loosely inspired by these things, but it's still really cool to see where it's drawing all the inspiration from and
Yeah.
where they may make changes, and that way you can form your own opinions. And
This is going to be fun.
yes, so the next comic I really recommend, Infamous Iron Man #2, Brian Michael Bendis, Alex Maleev,
Yes.
and Matt Hollingsworth. If you have read Daredevil, you probably know Bendis and Maleev. They're a good creative team. And
Not bad.
and just like all the other Marvel comics, it has a jumping on point. So let's say you can't get your hands on issue #1. Tells you exactly when you missed out. Or let's say you haven't been following Marvel, but you want to hop in because you really enjoy the movies or TV shows. You can do so. Pick up this issue and enjoy.
So do you want to tell everybody who's underneath the mask here?
it's a spoiler, man. No, yeah. So Victor Von Doom. So this one obviously features Ben Grimm, the ever-loving blue-eyed thing. And Victor Von Doom is a new Iron Man because after the conclusion of Civil War II,
Which we still haven't figured out
which
yet.
we don't know what happens, but we know that Iron Man is no longer Tony Stark.
Right.
Or Tony Stark is
He's
no longer Iron Man. We don't know why or how, but Victor Von Doom has been inspired to try to make a positive difference with, he's brilliant, man, and he's trying to put that to good use. And the funny thing is, I know people are going to have a negative reaction, like why drastically change characters? And I understand that. There are certain incarnations of characters that you love, certain traits about them, but they're taking a risk. They're doing something different with the guy. And we haven't even seen how Civil War II plays out yet.
I know, that's
Yeah.
insane. I just want to see how it happens.
Yeah, and Doom, he was obviously a big player in Secret Wars. And so now he's trying to do the right thing, and even a villain comments like, this is ridiculous that you're trying to be a good guy. There's no way I can believe that, but it's true. And Victor Von Doom wisely points out, like, really? There's surely more ridiculous things that have happened in this universe than me trying to use my powers for good, abilities for good. So.
Now, I haven't read this. This is his Iron Man suit already.
Yes, yeah, he's happy to actually get into a fight here because he hasn't been able to combat test it yet.
Oh.
And there's this really, really funny scene here where Victor destroys all these droids and he leaves. But then one droid starts crawling out and puts these two... Yes, I'm spoiling a scene, but it's a really good comic and there's so much more to it than just one scene. So Victor escapes. This one droid is left that's crawling out, and as you can see, there are two kids who are still there.
Oh.
So they are obviously in danger. Then Victor comes back, finishes the job, and basically says, apologies, I'm not used to worrying about the well-being of other people.
Wow.
So it's a very fun. Bendis, say what you will about his writing. Everyone's going to have different opinions, of course. But it's a very, very entertaining issue. He says exactly here, my apologies, making sure no harm will come to others is relatively new to me. Like, come on, that's hilarious.
That's good. That's a good one.
Yeah, he's still, deep down, you can tell this is the Victor Von Doom you would not want to mess with.
Yeah.
But he's trying to be a decent person. Speaking of trying to be a decent... Oh, so once again, Infamous Iron Man #2.
Speaking of,
trying to be a better person, X-23, one of my favorite Marvel characters, she is now Wolverine in all new Wolverine.
Okay.
It's written by Tom Taylor.
Yep.
X-23, she was born and raised to be a weapon. She is very, very dangerous. She has taken many, many lives over the years, and then she joined X-Force and the X-Men, and she's been trying to turn her back on her lethal ways. She's trying to, be a better person, go non-lethal now. Very similar to what I was saying.
Right, exactly.
But yeah, so X-23, she's trying to start over, just be the best person she can be, and it's not what some people may expect from X-23. For example, my favorite X-23 comic is Innocence Lost. It's her origin story. It is great. If you have any interest in the character whatsoever, read Innocence Lost. The ending gets me every single time.
Oh,
it's really good, man. It's really good.
Here.
Thank you. And then that is followed up by Target X. And then you can also check her out in X-Force and plenty of other stuff. But now she's Wolverine, and Tom Taylor's taken her in a new direction. Some people aren't on board with that, and that's fine. If they don't enjoy it, they certainly don't have to read it.
So are you looking forward to her appearance in Logan?
Oh, how could I not be, man? How could I not be?
I am.
Yeah. So all new Wolverine. I believe this is issue number 14. Yes, number 14. And this is illustrated by Nick Varela. And if you are a fan of Wolverine, X-23, Marvel Comics in general, Nick Varela, the artist of this comic, she'll be signing all new Wolverine number 16 next year. Sounds so far away, but it's not.
It's not, yeah.
No. On January 13th, I believe, from 7 to 8 p.m. Once again, she'll be signing all new Wolverine number 16
at Midtown downtown.
Yes,
everything
once
else
again, yes. 99.9% of our signings take place at Midtown Comics downtown on 64 Fulton Street. If you're wondering why, it's because the layout is great for it. We have Crime Alley right next door, where everyone can line up and hang out and talk about comics. And then the layout in the store is great, so it doesn't really interfere with people who are shopping.
Yeah. And if you're online, there's a deli right there. You can just grab whatever you want.
Yeah, that's what we do. Yeah, we go there, and that's where we have dinner. But yeah, so once again, more than adequate intro page if you have not read the previous 13 issues.
Which
Tom,
you have.
Yes, Tom Taylor, he was put on my radar because he wrote Injustice Gods Among Us. It's a very, very dark alternate universe for DC. But Tom Taylor, he's really good at heartfelt, and he can go really, really dark and tragic. But he also knows how to never make things too bleak. He always implements just the right amount of humor. And that holds true here.
Okay.
Because with X-23, there's this thing called trigger scent. It's a scent that just sends her into a frenzy. She just starts, the claws come out, and she kills everything she can. She just loses control and just goes on a killing spree. And she can't help it. And as you can see here, that's exactly what happened to her. She's trying to be a better person, get away. And she ends up, someone drops trigger scent in there intentionally, and she kills the entire town. It's a small town, but she kills the entire town. So obviously S.H.I.E.L.D. is going to show up and see what's going on. And it's a very dark plot, but the way Tom Taylor writes it, it's not like you're not going to want to just curl into a ball and cry after reading it. There's a good amount of humor in here as well, especially with Gabby, who's a supporting character. She is just such a delightful character, and there's such good banter between them. I didn't want to spoil anything. Don't want to spoil anything.
So basically we have to eliminate or disable her sense of smell in order for her not to kill an entire town.
Yeah, if she just holds her nose, I guess she would be good.
Hey, what is it, clothespin?
Yeah, there we go. Boom. Problem solved. Walks around with that. But yeah, so
it's fine. We can do this.
So that is the other comic I highly recommend. All New Wolverine number 14.
Awesome.
And yes.
Just wanted to point out something. Actually, hand me the infamous Iron Man.
Yeah, go for it.
I did see something in here that, or did I? Yes. Shall we mention that? Oh
yeah, of course, man.
So, one of the big things that Marvel is approaching is a new series, IVX, Inhumans versus X-Men. I believe that comes out in December, right?
I think issue 0 is this month.
Is this
and
month?
then number 1 is December.
Wow.
Yeah.
So imagine that. You have X-Men versus Inhumans, or Inhumans versus X-Men if you want to go, with the title. But this is probably going to be a very awesome saga. It's written by Charles Soule, and who else is on here?
I think there's a lot of people involved.
Jeff Lemire is involved. Lenny Liu is involved. I mean, you got top brass here, ready to rock and roll with the story. Definitely check it out. It's going to be a blast, I think, at least. So hopefully it'll be fun. Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully, fingers crossed.
And toes. Fingers and toes.
Fingers and toes.
Fingers and toes.
So yeah, as you can see, plenty of great comics to choose from this week. We're thinking about doing this weekly, the day after New Comic Book Day. That way we have time to read everything.
Yeah.
Let you know what we really, really recommend. And if you do want to pick up any of these comics, obviously they're currently available at Midtown Comics Grand Central, Times Square, and downtown, or you can get them online at www.midtowncomics.com. So once again, the Marvel comics we recommend this week, and there are so many to choose from. Once again, new Doctor Strange, Deadpool, Black Panther, Miles Morales, Jessica Jones. There's so many new comics. So my recommendations: I love all new Wolverine. I really, really, really love. Come on, people, read it. Old Man Logan.
Do you really love it?
Oh, I love it so much. If I wasn't already married, I would marry that guy.
Oh God.
And I also love infamous Iron Man. And if you're a fan of Daredevil or Kingpin, congrats to Matthew Rosenberg, the writer of, I believe this is very first Marvel Comics trade. That's awesome.
I believe so, yeah. So
so
you guys can actually pick this up and then come to the signing on 12/29 and have him sign it.
Yeah, have him sign this, have him sign Rocky Raccoon #1.
And then you got one other one, right?
Yeah.
You can choose from?
Yeah, I mean, he's done some really great work with Black Mass Studios, 4 Kids Walk Into a Bank.
Yeah.
And then, just as a reminder, your recommendations?
Thanos, #1. Ready to rock and roll the entire Marvel universe. Definitely check this out. Great read, great art, it's a lot of fun. And then, Amazing Spider-Man, Clone Conspiracy tie-in. Now, if I'm not mistaken, #19 has been reprinted this week. And so if you guys want to catch it from the very beginning, you can hit that one up. We have it in stock, and then from there, keep reading. It's a blast, and I promise you it's not Clone Saga. Not Clone Saga. It's completely different. All right.
Yeah, so thank you very much for watching. I'm just finding a small preview of Kingpin versus Punisher.
You just had to.
I had to. I had to. So that's a small sample of Kingpin versus Punisher in the Kingpin trade that just came out, which is a Civil War II tie-in. Thank you very, very much for watching. John and I are curious to see what you guys thought about this video. We want to do it every week. Let us know what you'd like to see more of. Maybe we can do some Q&A. If you want to see us talk about other publishers, specific characters, let us know what you want to see more of, and we will make it happen.
Yeah.
Assuming it's reasonable, of course.
True. If you ask for $1 million, it's not going to happen. No, just not going to happen. But again, your opinion counts, and we want to be able to serve you as best as possible. So let us know what you guys want to see, and we'll do our best to get it out there for you.
Yeah. So thank you very much for watching, and remember to be good to each other, and read some comics too. That's also important.
That was important. Yeah.
Have a good weekend.